Hi everyone, welcome to Heights Engineering. Today we have very special guest Shivani Chauhan and she has secured All India Rank 5 in Indian Economic Services. And today she will be telling us about her strategies, or about her preparations, how she got such an amazing rank. Let's start, Shivani.
Okay, thank you for having me here. So, my name is Shivani Chauhan and I come from a very humble background. I belong to village Alampur in Uttar Pradesh and I completed my schooling till 10th and 12th from my hometown only, from convent school. After that, after 12th class, I moved to Delhi for pursuing my undergraduation. And fortunately, I got into economics honors. That time, I had no plans like I will be pursuing economic service in future. For sure, I was always up for civil services. So, I completed my graduation from Shivaji College, Delhi University itself. And then on the basis of merit, I got into DSC, Delhi School of Economics, for pursuing my post graduation. After that, because of the campus placements, I got into ICICI Bank, and after 2 years, then I thought, like from past 1.5 years, I'm preparing for IES service. So I thought of preparing for economic services rather than administrative service because of the time crunch and the requirement of hard work in administrative service. So I went for IES, and from the past 1.5 year, I was studying for that. And thankfully, with God's grace and blessings of my friends and family, I cleared this exam IES 2024 in my first attempt itself.
That was wonderful. So, as we all know, she got AIF 5 in IES. Now we will know how she secured this rank. What was her strategy?
Okay, so if I talk about strategy, firstly, because I did my economics honors in it because I did my undergraduation in economics honors and PG also in economics, so I had 5 years of experience studying economics, and that actually did support me very well. And actually, that is the eligibility criteria as well for this exam. So, and I did my UG like dedicatedly. I studied all my subjects very carefully. So what I did for pursuing, for making notes and for reading those books again, I started from my UG books only. Like it was not like that I have to take different books, or if any standard book is there for a particular subject, I did not go that way. I started from my UG books only because those were the books which I had studied already. So that helped me to grasp the things very quickly, and I did not have that much time as well. So in that short span of time, I tried to go through my UG books again and make notes from those underlined books because I had already underlined them. So it was useful for me to make notes quickly. So I made all the notes, and then I tried to supplement those notes by the standard books or the books which are usually prescribed for the exam. And for that purpose, I take great help from past year papers. And those PYQs are actually collated PYQs that actually were the Bible for me for PYQs, whichever I used for my strategy. So in that I had topic wise I had searched for whatever topic is left from my notes. Then I prepared notes for that topic. So it was like whatever I have covered, I completed the syllabus after seeing the IES syllabus PDF, whatever is there. But after then again I go back to PYQs, and in PYQs whatever is left, whichever topic is left, then I make the notes for that. So this way I completed all my notes. I covered the whole syllabus, and that helped me in answer writing as well and in covering the syllabus as well. So that was the overall strategy.
Okay. So, were you working when you were preparing for this exam?
Yes, I was full-time employee in ICICI Bank.
Oh,
Yes. And I'm working as a data analyst here from past 2.5 years.
so how did you manage your work-life balance? Like, how did you prepare for this exam? As this exam requires devotion of time.
Correct. You require a large amount of time for the studies. Like, it is not a very small syllabus. Economics, it has 6 papers. So, and 4 of them are from economics only, 2 are general papers. So it requires a lot of time, and you have to revise the things as well. You have to make the notes as well. So that's what I said. From my UG books, I took the help, and I don't know, somewhere my UG preparation helped me in grasping the things very quickly. So I take the help from my previous books. And if we talk about devoting the time, then consistency and discipline is the key. So I try to make time from my daily job schedule, in which I used to give at least 3 to 4 hours daily. Sometimes it happens that you cannot study after going back home. Somewhere you have critical deadlines in my job also. So quarterly we have critical deadlines. So that time for 1 or 2 week I could not study. But I tried that if I'm not able to give 3 to 4 hours, then at least I will give 1 or 2 hours, or at least I study a subject in which I don't have to pay so much of attention, so that I can cover the subject as well, and I don't have to, like, some things are there which you can study in your sleep also, like that. So this way I tried to make time, and Saturday, Sunday I devoted the whole time in my preparation. That is, you cannot give any excuses for that. And I planned my holidays as well, like not going home, and utilizing all my holidays for the study purpose only. So sometimes in job also you have some periods wherein you have less amount of work. Sometimes you have high amount of work. So when you are having less work in your office, you can give more time to your studies. When you have more work in your office, then that time you can study simple subjects, or you can revise, which requires less concentration and less time. So that way I try to manage. It is not that easy, but you have to manage it. You have to do what you have to do. So yeah.
So, Shivani ma'am, you truly did hard work, and we all are so proud of you. Also, did you take any coaching for this?
So not for the written part. I did not take any coaching for that purpose. I make my own notes from different sources, whatever is available, whatever books I had. And nowadays everything is available on online, like PDFs and all, so you can make the notes from there. So for written part, I did not use any coaching. But after I cleared my written exam in September, then for the interview part, I took mock sessions for interview. That was because I was in Hyderabad, and coachings are mainly in Delhi. So mock sessions, 3 or 4 mock sessions I took, which were all online. So for that part, I used 2 different platforms.
Do you want to name those platforms?
No, not exactly.
Okay. Okay, sure. Also, if I found some resources for you, I'll mention them in the description for your help. Mm,
We can actually. I used Bliss Point for mock interview, and Ecoholics also. Ecoholics ka we had one session for like complete. There were 2 panelists, so they took the interview. And for Bliss Point also, we had 2 panelists, so they took I think 3 sessions for me. 2 like full sessions. One was like intro types. So yeah, these 2 coaching institutes I preferred. Actually, for Indian economic service, there are not many institutes which are full-fledgedly doing economic services coachings. So, people can go for institutes like Next IS, etc. Whatever, like there are many institutes for UPSC. So, for economics optional, many institutes are giving coachings, but not for Indian economic service exactly. So, wherever you can find mock session for economics optional or IES, you can go for that. Any coaching or mock session cannot prepare you exactly like what the final panelists are going to ask you, but it gives you some kind of confidence that at least you have been through that environment, and at least you get some kind of confidence
Okay.
when you actually have prepared for it. Otherwise, on that day you might feel like I have not prepared anything, because interview is like you don't know what exactly they are going to ask. Syllabus already they have asked in written exam. So for interview, they can ask current affairs, they can ask your work profile, your background, and also technical questions as well, depends on the panelists. But they are really cordial in nature. Telling from my experience, they were discussing among them as well whatever questions they were asking me. And it depends on panel to panel. Sometimes they can go all technical, but in my case it was all opinion based questions.
Okay. So that was a mix of your interview experience also.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us something more about your interview experience?
Sure. So, in my panel, there were 4 people. Chairman sir was there, and then 2 female panelists and 1 more male panelist was there. So, starting from, if I tell you my personal experience, then this obviously they start from the chairman sir, and he asked me about the nature of work I have in ICICI Bank. So, you have to prepare your work profile. Usme they can ask anything like regarding your work profile, and even if they know something about that area, then they can go deep in that direction. So they started from nature of the work. Then only one question was there for regarding the ICICI Bank and my work profile, 1 or 2 question mainly. After that, they came for major macro part, and they asked about classical economics, Keynesian economics. So that is the thing that we have to anyways prepare. But it was not direct question like what is classical say and what does Keynesian say. It was like, is it relevant in the current scenario, and which school of thought is actually relevant in the current economy, in Indian economy. So that way they were collating the things. They were not asking directly the just definition or something. So it was more opinion based. You can, if you can justify either way, that is your part. Then after that, they asked about something regarding social empowerment or something. Then I wrote my hobby as diary writing, because I write poetries and articles, like my personal experience only, not as in columns or newspapers. So, ma'am asked me about what you write and is it like personal, or so, that those questions were there. So this way they covered all the things. And one question which I can remember right now, it was regarding unemployment and poverty, in which they say they had asked ki, if even after so many years of government schemes, so many years after independence, why we are not able to deal with unemployment and poverty till now, what else we can do. Because I think they picked that question from my answer only, because I said that we have so many schemes, and every budget we had different schemes, but still we are not able to cope up with the situation. So they it was like a follow-up question from there only. So this way they were discuss, and in between, like, they were discussing among themselves only. I was not feeling like that they are asking me only, and they were laughing in between. They're cordial in nature, but it's not like if they are laughing then you also start laughing. So we have to be formal. They can do whatever they want, but we cannot. So that way my interview went well.
So we know her interview went well because she was the highest scorer of the interviews. Kudos.
Thank
Okay. So for our viewers, can you please tell some do's and don'ts?
Okay. So, don'ts, what I can pick right now is, firstly, don't get overwhelmed by the syllabus. And secondly, there is no foolproof strategy or rule of thumb that you follow this person or that person. Whatever suits you, you have to do that. For example, I did not started from any standard book or a different set of books. Whatever books I already studied, I started my syllabus from there. So if you have already studied the topic, so you go topic wise rather than book wise. It's not like that you have to complete 10 books for micro, 20 books for macro. It's not like that. You just go through one book. If you are able to sufficiently cover all the topics from that one book only, then it's fine. For example, for microeconomics, we have H.L. Ahuja, which is the standard book, which is prescribed. So you can study your micro part from there. And if you feel like that something is not covered there, so then you can search it on Google and ChatGPT. Right now we have so many solutions available online, so you can directly search it from there. You can complete your topic from there. It's not like that you have to go to another book for to study another topic. So what I did, for example, I supplemented my HL Ahuja and Hall variant we studied in my UG. So I mix both of them to make my notes so that I can cover both my general part as well. And Hall variant is kind of advanced book which we studied in UG. So I mixed both the books and made my notes. So that helped me in covering advanced part as well and quickly making the notes as well. So that is one don't follow that 10 books or 20 books. Rather than you can go topic wise cover the syllabus and try to understand the topics rather than go into deep technicalities, because we have to define the boundaries, certain topic till what boundary you have to study. In that case again PYQs are going to help, because there only you can make and you can strategize till what point you have to study and what all exactly the points are asked in the question. For example, if I give you an example, then in micro we did not study input output model, neither in UG neither in PG. Just names I had studied. I did not go through in detail what it is exactly. But when I completed my micro part, I studied from my UG book. But when I go then to PYQ, they're asking Leontief input output model. They're asking linear programming questions. Those I did not study I did not make notes for that. So from PYQ, I get to know these questions are asked. So then you can Google these questions and you can study those topics. So that way you are completing the whole part, whichever is going to ask. One or two questions can be there which you think that they were neither asked, neither you have studied. That's okay. But whatever you can gauge from the PYQs, that is the best part. PYQs are the best. You have to go through it and to understand it, what is being asked and what you have to write and how you have to write. Everything is you can strategize from PYQs and the syllabus they have mentioned. The best part is you have topic wise syllabus mentioned in by the UPSC, so you can again and again go through it to understand what topics you have covered and what is left. So that is there.
Right. So now we know all about what to do, what not to do, and briefly we know where to study. So talking about PYQs, are these previous year question papers available on internet?
Yes, for year wise, you can find PYQs anywhere. For collated part, what I used, Ecoholics is a platform, online platform only, which has collated the past year question papers. Like it is not like 2023 paper or 2024 paper. That way you can find it anywhere on UPSC site as well. But they have collated the papers topic wise. For example, for micro also you had different topics: consumer theory, production theory. So for consumer theory, whatever questions were asked in the past years, they have made the list topic wise. So what helps is we study topic wise. So when I am studying consumer theory, then I know what were questions asked regarding consumer theory. So I can easily understand from that theory how I have to study and what is left. So I think that collation is really helped me, and that is a free material provided by them. So you can anyway access it. Or if you don't want to use it, then past year papers are anyways available. Use it like as your own will, as your own convenience.
So we will provide those links also in the description for your help. So Shivani ma'am, we have some viewers who are on the start of their journey. So they are just beginning the preparation of IAS. So what do you want to tell to them?
Firstly, for the new aspirants, go through the pattern, go through the syllabus. So, for example, I can tell you something about the pattern. It's mains and interview. So, there is no pre, thank God, because that actually is quite difficult, as we can see from the CSE exam as well. So, here the eligibility is economics, PG in economics. So, after that, you can give this exam, and exactly the number of attempts and age required, that depends on category also. So in general category it is 6 attempts I guess, and So, if we talk about the pattern, firstly, we have mains exam, which actually generally happens in June, third week. So, there we have 6 exams, wherein first and second exam, which happens on the first day, is general English and general studies. Wherein in English, they ask for simple English questions, comprehension, passage, essay writing types. And in that, we have also a section wherein words are asked, word meanings, and grammatical questions also, like is there any grammatical error in the sentence, and mark it or correct it, that type of questions, which you can prepare from the past years as well, or you can go through some grammatical rules for omissions and editing the sentence. For words, what I did, prepared from past years only. I'm not saying that those words repeated in my paper. No, nothing, no word was repeated, but that is the preparation you can do. And when we read newspapers, current affairs, so in that you get some new words, so you can study from there what is the meaning of that, so you get used to those words. So that is the English part, GS 1. Then GS 2, we have general studies, in which they ask history, geography, polity. So for that, I studied. For history, I take class 11th NCRT book, in which you get to know all about freedom struggle, Mughal era, Vedic era. So intro, for the intro part and to get basic understanding of it, I think that book is sufficient for the history part. For polity, I already had studied polity from like NCRT books from 9th to 12th, so that helped. I had notes for that. For geography, but basically, you have to interlink all these topics from the current affairs. Whatever is happening in the current scenario, that is most likely to be asked in the GS paper as well. So this way, for NCR, and this is 100 marks paper. So firstly, we have to prepare economics really well. For these 2 papers, you can have your own strategies. Then 4 papers are economics, micro, macro, and everything is asked. Public economics, development economics, international trade, everything is there. And for each subject, you have topics mentioned in the syllabus PDF from UPSC. You go through that, whatever topics are asked from each subject, and prepare that way. So this is mains. After that, when mains happens, after that you get the written result, whoever qualifies for that. This year we had 18 seats for the final vacancies. So they took 41 students from the written exam. So around September we got that result. After that, you prepare for interview. And in interview, majorly you have already studied your static part. You already gone through your syllabus. That is there. You have to revise again that. After that, current affairs is the basic part, is the major part in interview, I think, because that is the main thing which interviewers can ask, whether you are aware about your own economy and whatever is happening currently. So after you get into the interview phase, you revise your syllabus again, you study current affairs whatever way you want to, and then mock sessions and all, and then interview happened, and after that you get the final result. So that is the basic process for it.
Right, right, right. So current affairs are so much overwhelming. How do you manage? How did you do the current affairs part?
So I also felt a difficulty in actually strategizing how to deal with current affairs. For me also, it was like, from where do I study? Because it was also difficult for me to go through daily newspaper and make notes from it, because as I was having my job as well. So that's why what I did is, I in between I tried to read newspaper, majorly the economy part and business news types. After that, what I followed is monthly magazines. So you can find monthly magazines from anywhere. You just type monthly magazines and you can get monthly magazines from different institutes publish those. So I took Vision IAS monthly magazines. From there, majorly I did for initial part of my journey. That time I had some time to the exam. So I read the whole magazines, like economy part ke saath other parts as well, but majorly focusing on economy part. But after that, when I come close to the exam time and interview time, so for interview, if I say, I rigorously followed Ecoholics monthly magazine because it is only economics news. So I majorly focused on that, and I underlined then and there only. I did not make the notes separately from there, and that is what I liked about monthly magazines, because from newspapers you have to make notes as well if you want to remember or revise the things whatever happened. So for monthly magazines, that's why I preferred. But you can have your own strategy. You can have one newspaper daily, either Indian Express or The Hindu, whichever you feel like that you understand it. So you can have any newspaper, stick to that. You can follow Mint as well. That is a good newspaper. So that way you can have one newspaper daily. And if you think that you are not able to make notes daily and you are falling behind for the current affairs, then you can have monthly magazines. So monthly magazines may you already have that topic, and they also give the history of that. They are, it is not like they are just mentioning the news. They will explain it, pros, cons, and what is the way forward. So that way it helps in writing the answers, and you can use those conclusions and that whatever new is happening in your answers as well. When you write the answer in mains, just interlink that with the current scenario. Whatever you can uh, obviously remember, whatever you can remember it, you can write in your answers. So that way it gives a good impression on the invigilator as well, that you are interlinking the things rather than just writing the static part. You are making that you are aware of the current scenario as well. So that way current affairs help. And for interview, so it is really, it is major part, because if they that day newspaper also helps. So that way one newspaper and monthly magazine. And if it is you are finding it very overwhelming, then just go for economics news majorly. I'm not saying that you don't study other things, but at least cover the economics part, economics news. That is the major that is important. And whatever you think that certain political things or wars or crisis happening, that is actually impacting your economy as well. So globally also, whatever is happening, if there is a war, then what is the impact on the trade with India? What is the impact on Indian economy? So that way you have to understand those topics as well. And World Bank reports, every time you have some new report, World Bank indexes. So that way you have to understand, you have to read those type of news for sure. So that way you can go about it.
So that was a great advice. So as you mentioned that we can use current affairs in our static answers. Can you tell something more about the answer writing?
So basically, students can have test series also for answer writing practice, and that totally depends on you. I did not take test series, but while you make notes as well, that also is going to help. Rather than making online notes or typing on the keyboard, make copy paper pe you have to write, so that it actually gives you practice also. And because in the final paper you have to write on paper only, you don't have to type it. So that is what, uh, while writing your answers, write your static part, whatever you are writing. But if you can remember some things from the current news, or you can interlink it somewhere, write it, link that whatever is happening. For example, if we take sustainable development, you know the definition, you know the history from where it started, from the summit and all. But currently, if there is any report which has come out regarding the sustainable index, and if India is taking any measure for it, if there is something which is mentioned in the budget, so union budget, and again union budget you have to study very carefully. Union budget mein there are many schemes, and that you can use, that what is the aim of Indian government, what we are trying to do, and what schemes we have taken for women empowerment, for agriculture. So this way you can bifurcate the union budget and economic survey, and for the same year you have to study that. So that is going to again help in your answer writing, in your in having different perspectives for a particular topic. So that is going to help.
So I think we have a lot uh, today. Uh, Before ending, do you want to tell something to your viewers? Some good advice?
just don't get overwhelmed. Don't decide. Don't think that there are only this many vacancies and there is so much of competition. Uh, Stay calm, dedicated, and only by determination and dedication you can pass through this journey. Obviously, I understand there is so much of uncertainty. I was also very much under pressure during my journey. Right now, I can tell you because I am out of it, but obviously there will be a pressure and there is lot of uncertainty during our journey, because even if you pass first stage, again after second stage, if you don't qualify, come back to the first stage. So there is so much of uncertainty. I agree, but anyways, we have to stay calm and just start your preparation, your note makings and everything. And some days it can be like you are not feeling like to study. 1 or 2 day break is fine. You can give yourself that break. But after that, if you have a lot of breaks, like 1 week break, then again 2 weeks break, then it actually breaks that continuity. And again, you have to start from the scratch. For me, it is like that. So maintain the continuity and hopefully you'll get it.
Ma'am, how did you manage the motivation?
See, for me, I always had this in mind that I have to go in this line, civil services. Initially, from my bachelor's only, from UG or like from wherever I can think of, it was always like that I will go in the civil services. So initially, it was like that I have to go to IAS, but given the fact that I did not have that much time, so I thought of giving this exam. This is also same level of exam, but a different set of responsibilities. But because economics is easy for me, given the fact I have done my UG and PG in that subject, so that helped. And I thought that I will. This is relatively I can manage it given my schedule. So I got into this, and if I talk about support and motivation, then it was inner motivation that was from the start, that everybody has to have it, because other persons can motivate you only for 1 day or 2 day or 1 month, but if you cannot feel it from within, then it is a difficult scenario. And my family is always there to support. Friends also supported me. I discussed some of the things from them also, because there are people around me who are studying for the same exam, if not IES then IAS, UPSC, CSC. So that way, I tried by discussing giving 1 or 2 day breaks as well. And whenever I feel conscious, in any scenario, be it exam or be it any other situation, when I feel like that I am not able to cope up with the situation, I directly talk to my father. And he is the one who actually give me that motivation and give me argument wise logics that you can do this and you can do that. So he is the person who can motivate me in any situation. So I talk to him, I talk to my mother, so they are the people who can motivate me and who can keep me in loop, keep me on the same table. So that's how I try to maintain it. In between, I do felt pressure. I do felt that होगा कि नहीं होगा, एंड अगर नहीं हुआ तो क्या करेंगे. बट वो सब सबके दिमाग में आता है. इट इज़ नथिंग न्यू और नथिंग कि आप ही के साथ ऐसा हो रहा है. सबके साथ होता है, बट कैसे भी हमको वो अपने आप से डिसाइड करना होगा दैट हुएवर यू कैन गो टू, डिस्कस करो चीज़ें एंड हो जाएगा. इतना भी कुछ डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. इफ आई कैन डू इट देन यू कैन आल्सो डू इट.
Thank you, ma'am. You had a wonderful journey, and we wish that all our viewers should get some good advice from you. Also, if you all have any queries, you can mention in the comments, and ma'am will surely reply to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we should end our session today, and let's say goodbye to Miss Shivani, ma'am. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you for having me and happy to help. If this can help the students, then why not? Thank you.
Take care.